Good evening, good day, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to Magic from the Ashes. We start today's scene. It's it's the afternoon. It's beginning to approach the evening. Still many business deals are going on. This is Wall Street after all. And within the offices of Iliad Capital, certain things are coming. And certain things are going on. Not day to day, but this is this conference room where there is a meeting getting prepared. It's, there are some outside guests looking for investment opportunities. Nausicaa is just a facilitator. She's made certain things, moved in certain things, and found some, gotten food, drinks, everything. In a room not too far from the conference room, waiting to hear that the guests have arrived, sits a very, very nervous Julie. The thought of a smoke is very tempting at this point, but she knows she's strong enough to face this. Although she might need convincing for that. She's currently wearing a white shirt and a business jacket over. Something she's worn maybe once or twice to work. One of the first days she was here, and one for a thing. But now she even with all that's happened, she still wants to be seen as more serious, seen as not the same daughter that her parents once knew, but she wants to show them that she made it without them. Well, at least that's what she wants to convince herself of. Inside her mind and emotionally, she, having seen her brother not too long ago, is also with the seeking and certain things that happened. She, for all their faults, needs to see her parents. She needs to talk to them, and she needs to find out, something. Maybe more than one thing, but currently she's just waiting for Nausicaa's notification that there are people who have arrived.
Nausicaa will walk into the room. She's set up, or more accurately, her and probably Ava and Julie have helped her set up an elaborate feast to no small expense. And yeah, she will walk in the room. They're downstairs. They're waiting in the lobby. Is there anything specific you would like me to do or say?
If you hear the screaming get too loud, if that happens, intervene and just try to say that we should probably take a break or something. And just, it's okay if you shout at me to get my attention. I might be a little. She shakes her head and she just says, just if you feel it, there's a tension, more than just a little bit of tension, maybe you suggest that we take a break.
Do you want me in the room?
Julie seems to be preoccupied with something. She doesn't really know what to answer to that. But takes a moment. She just says, I would very much like you to be there.
I understand.
She actually takes Nausicaa's hand.
Nausicaa probably looks incredibly uncomfortable and kind of like clearly doesn't want to hold your hand.
Thank you for this and many other things. Just, I hope I can repay you somehow, somewhere. But thanks a lot.
It's my job. I'll have the doorman send them up. If you wait in here, and I'll send you a message when you should come in.
Okay.
Is there anything you wish me to say to them beforehand?
Say that you know someone who wishes to talk with him about something very urgent.
Yes.
And Noska will, walk out, and she'll tell the receptionist to tell the doorman to send them up. Deborah's her assistant, actually. She'll tell Deborah.
Deborah will dematerialize as she does so fantastically upon request. And after a while waiting, you can start to hear a voice, a woman's voice. This is ridiculous, Martin. There's no point in this investment. Alejandro's doing perfectly fine, and he'll continue to do perfectly fine unless somehow they run out of copper in Mongolia. I think this is... I don't see why you thought this was a reasonable idea. And in will walk this woman, accompanied by a tall, well-dressed man with short grey hair, sort of close-cropped grey hair, slightly receding, blue eyes, cracky face.
Noska is waiting at the entrance to Iliad for them.
And they both greet you with friendly smiles. Miss Alexios.
Good to meet you both. Sorry, what are their names? Mr. and Mrs. Thompson?
Yeah.
Greetings, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson. Thank you for responding so promptly to my invitation. If you would like to come this way, I've had some small refreshments prepared.
Thank you.
And Nausicaa will walk through the conference room.
And there's a rather elaborate feast with incredibly impressive silent waiters, currently taking around oysters and caviar, or currently serving oysters and caviar to... they'll first hand it to Nausicaa, as they've been made aware of who's paying them.
Nausicaa just waves them away.
Yes, before offering it to Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, who enthusiastically take it. Very nice. So, what is it that you wish to sell us?
Selling is not really my job. I have an opportunity, and it has been brought to my attention that you may be the ideal people to be able to take advantage of it. I've done extensive research into your backgrounds and investments, and you fit the perfect profile.
They're looking at you somewhat suspiciously.
I may understand your position, but there's someone who works here that may be able to explain it better. And Norsik is essentially just going to reach into her pocket and click send on, come in message to Julie.
Julie gets up, begins to walk out, takes the hardest walk she's ever had to walk in this building, probably in this city. She stands there at the door, just waits for a second, takes a very deep breath, uses all of her training before, but also with Lee, just calm her mind. Even though she can feel that something else is there, and it's hard to keep down. She opens the doors, goes in, just says, "Hi, Mom, Dad."
And the lady's face in front of you, sort of Julie's mother's face, first her eyes open wide, and her jaw drops. Before her lips purse together, and then her face twists into a scowl of anger, as after this sort of all taking place in the space of about half a second, and to which she wildly sort of throws her hands up, knocking a plate of foie gras flying against the wall. What joke is this? Did you put her up to this? This is ridiculous. Is this about Edward?
Mom, please, calm down. Okay.
Calm down. Calm down. I've been dragged into the city by this charlatan on a complete sham. Why?
Because I work here. I work here in human resources. Nausicaa is my employer, and I need to speak with you and Dad. It's been too long. I miss you guys, despite how weird that sounds. I just need to talk to you. Can we just sit down and just talk, like, just a moment?
What kind of self-indulgent idiot would encourage some low-level bunk in human resources to put on this?
Your assumptions are quite incorrect. Julie's an integral part of our team here. She asked a favor of me. I obliged.
Took apart, not enough to cut off that stupid haircut. It's worth pointing out she stayed sat down. But just very angry.
For what it's worth, Julie's haircut does not impact our bottom line. She's extraordinarily valuable to the company.
What could you possibly bring to something like this?
You'd be surprised, but that's part of what I want to talk about. Can we please just relax and just talk?
Say what you're going to say. In fact, actually, it'll be Julie's father that interrupts. Mother looks like, Julie's mum looks like she's about to scream, and her father just puts his hand out and says, "Say what you're going to say." He's also not smiling. His face is fairly set.
We fell out. You made it clear that you didn't want anything to do with it. And I was young and stupid. I wasn't. Both me and my brother now left, which is what it is, but I just need you to know that you're still my parents, and I still love you. And that may sound weird, whatever I said, but I'm not smoking anymore, I'm not doing anything of that. I've gotten a fairly respectable job. I'll probably never be the person you wanted me to be, and I don't think anyone can change that, but I do want to end at this point. As Julie's talking, I will roll for the thing.
Yep.
Is that Arate? Or
No, you rolled before. Like, so you got the aura before.
Yeah. Okay. As this now she's beginning to, as she's talking about
Mhm.
her feelings of love and what they are. You're, we are still, you're still my mom and my dad, and I want to be able to meet you. I want to be able to talk to you. I want to let you know that I love you, and I want to know that you also love me.
You abandoned us for your self-indulgent habits. Not spoken to you, not written to us for 7 years. And then
Because you treated me like a prisoner, and you had a plan for me since I was 6 years old.
And so you trick us into meeting you? So you can say you're sorry for all of that?
Would you have come if I'd asked you to come?
7 years. Nothing. What magical revelation has suddenly changed your mind?
Julie just thinks about the turn of phrase and how strangely accurate that is. She just says, a lot of stuff has happened, and I've had to change. I had to overcome a lot of things. And with that, I've begun to realize what I've done wrong and what I need to change and what matters. And the fact that you're my parents matters.
We gave you everything and not any sort of gratitude. You said that
You
we
gave
gave you
me,
everything and you still call it a prison.
you gave me everything material, yes. Anything I would want, you gave me. But loving, acceptance of what I wanted, no, you didn't give me that. Freedom to maybe do some things that I wanted to do, no, you didn't give me that either. I, I, I'm not you. I don't necessarily know why you did it, but I don't blame you. Not anymore.
Blame
Or
us? Blame us? How dare you be so arrogant? We're always like this. You said we never loved you. We gave you everything. We worked so hard for you. We tried to teach you decent lessons. You threw it back in our faces. And now you say that you don't blame us for it?
when did you ever tell me that I was good enough as I was? Did you ever say that?
Of course we'll have said well done to you.
That's not what I said. Did you ever tell me that if there was something I couldn't do, that there was other things I could do, and I was good enough as I was, and you loved me for who I was? When did you ever have time to sit down with me and talk? Never. Not with me or my brother.
And Julie's father will step in again. Like, because we knew that you could do so much if you just applied yourself. You could have done whatever you wanted.
Believe me, Dad. I'm doing that now more than you can probably ever understand.
I know hedge funds work hard, but don't pretend I don't know about hard work, Julia.
Did I say that? No. I said that I'm living my life. I'm applying myself, and I'm doing, I say, quite impressive things. I just had to find my own way, and you don't seem to like that.
This isn't about you finding your own way. This is about everything that's happened before, and even now, you don't seem to understand what we were doing.
I do. Or at least I hope I do. Julie's on the verge of crying. She's been there for some time. I want to be able to see you. I want to be able to talk to you. I just don't want.
And this is how you decide to start? With some expensive farce?
Julie is crying. Pretty much now. This isn't a farce. This is the only way I could show you just a little bit. Just try to make you proud or see something. What should I have done then? What should I have done? Like, I can't go back in time. I can't just unsay some of the things that we said or undo what I did, but I'm here now. I'm your daughter. I want to be able to hug you guys. Just meet you again. And just make sure that you know that your daughter still loves you. That's what I want.
They go very quiet, and actually, you can see it's possibly even detectable to Nauska if she was paying the slightest bit of attention to what's going on in the room.
She's. I mean, there's nothing else to look at. No, she's paying attention.
Just the tension around Julie's father's face that is clearly holding quite a lot in, but they're still both clearly. There's a lot of anger.
Can I actually do an effect, Duncan?
I don't know.
Yeah. May I?
Yeah.
So, grammar technocrat. So, basically, Nausicaa, I kind of imagine she may have been doing this over a while. Basically, she wants to analyze their like public positions, also if they're clearly into copper in Mongolia, that sort of thing, and basically see if her enlightened understanding of the market can basically if she can give them any kind of like good pertinent business advice. She's annoyed that she's been called a charlatan.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'll finance. So I think it's basically time and entropy 2. So
Yeah. Just give me like 3 successes or something.
I have 1. Roll again. Oops. 5. Well, no, botch. Okay, I imagine I give them terrible advice.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's exactly what you do.
So yeah,
Yeah.
Nausicaa has information for them, and it's catastrophically wrong.
Yeah, completely. You give them information, and you tell them to go hard into crypto in like January.
I think she's going to do it like afterwards, rather than like halfway through this emotional conversation. You know what I mean? I will do it. I'm not backing out of it.
No, completely.
But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, you can give them absolutely terrible business advice.
Yeah.
And after sort of being silent for a while,
And Nausicaa would also be able to detect that Julie is doing something, I think.
If it's affecting her, she may, I guess. I think perception awareness, right, Duncan?
yeah, it's a fairly minor factor. It's actually like difficulty 9.
Two
It's quite a
successes.
subtle.
Difficulty.
Okay. She's basically amplifying, or fanning any flames of like positive sort of affection, love that people have around her.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
If there is an awkward...
It's not giving a lot of feedback, I would say.
Yeah, no, that's cool. If there is an awkward silence, Nausicaa will just say, for what it's worth, what Julie's saying is true. I have known her for almost a year now, and the progress she has made has been incredibly impressive. She is an extraordinarily valuable asset to this company, and I consider her a personal friend.
Nobody asked you.
No, they didn't.
Julie, Edward is following the same
And
idiotic.
I'll make sure he doesn't.
Get him to come home. Then we'll talk.
Again, that's part of it. Just telling him to go home. It's probably not going to work. I'm just going to have to show him why.
Your idiotic lifestyle has caused enough destruction in this family. Whether you're getting back on the straight and narrow now, whether you found Jesus or whatever it is, this is genuine. Get him to come home.
I will.
Although you have not asked me, are you familiar with currency trading at all?
Yes.
You may be
Can
aware.
we do this later?
They have not asked me, but they've eaten my food and they are in my place. I will speak when I like. The Chinese yuan is the currency that backs one of the largest economies on the planet, but it is not used as a world reserve currency. Do you know why?
Because because its value is constantly manipulated heavily.
Exactly. It is controlled by the CCP. It is not allowed to flow and be regulate itself. It is not allowed to find its correct place in the world, so people do not trust it. Although this makes Western markets more susceptible, their currency is able to find its correct place in the world. Its true value is true and trusted. The CCP like to control theirs, and as so, it is not a world reserve currency. I'm not a charlatan. I said I would give you financial advice.
It's not advice I already know.
I was hoping you would understand the analogy.
And his nostrils flare. He's clearly not happy about Nausicaa's input here.
Nausicaa's actually going to just at that look at Julie for a moment, and she's just going to stand up and walk out and leave them alone.
So, I promise you, I'll get Edward home.
Then we'll talk about Christmas or whatever.
Is there nothing else you want to say?
Can you make me a perception empathy roll, please?
Just a moment, because I the things I'm 100% sure. Perception and alertness, right? Or empathy?
Perception empathy, please.
Oh, I have 2 successes.
Okay. You can get this clearly, probably quite a lot. They both want to say. Just dealing with some. They're not great people at dealing with sort of excessive emotions, and are yeah, pretty. They're struggling with them right now, and they don't really want to express them. It's not something they're particularly good at or particularly fond of doing. They are, as ever, trying to stay in control, and that's proving remarkably challenging.
Can I use Mind to help them lose control?
You could, in principle, sort of turn it up until they. You could just fan their emotions until they lose control with Mind 2, if you so desire. However, the fact that they're clearly quite angry, and their anger comes from how they feel about Julie.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of what Julie would. She would want them, but she didn't succeed, so she'd think that they're mostly angry. She would just say, "You are my parents, and I love you guys. And even though you might not say it, I know part of you, and I know that you still love me as your daughter. Even though you may not want to say it, whatever. And you're still pissed at me, and I'm totally aware of that. And just remember that."
And there will be an awkward silence before Julie's. Well, in fact, so that Julie's mother will, in fact, sharply stand up. Take a deep breath. Fortunately, we have an urgent appointment elsewhere. We will. This is real. Maybe you'll be in touch. Before storming out of the room. Julie's father looks her in the eye and holds her gaze for a brief moment before stepping out without a word.
Oscar's standing outside, and she will just hand them a folder. Say, "I'm not a charlatan," and then go in to see Julie. And the file will have all the information they would need on profiles, etc.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's probably going to lose them some money.
That is actually pretty funny. But yeah, Julie's just sits down. Her head, she's shaking her head lightly, and just having it like hiding her head in her hands.
Nausicaa looks at that, stiffens a bit, shuts the door, goes over to the food and starts picking through things, avoiding the oyster and caviar. She'll ask one of the chefs what one of the things is, and when he explains, she has no idea. And yeah, maybe takes a little plate of it and a plate for herself for some of the more edible things, and goes over to Julie. You should eat.
She looks up, grabs some of the stuff from her plate.
I don't know if this is how you like it. Gluten-free, vegetarian, Paleociscian, the other dietary requirements you have.
It's fine.
How do you think that went?
Better than I feared, worse than I hoped. Somewhere in between. Can't say that they've changed much.
Are you going to convince your brother to go back to them?
Well, what I tried to tell them is that if their idea of him coming home is just going over to saying, stop doing what you're doing and do what we want, they haven't learned jack shit. And not want to come home, but I can convince him. Quite sure.
I do not think you should. You've got this. You should allow him the same opportunity you had to find his own way. You should be supportive, and so should they. But I do not believe you should persuade or trick him into going back to them.
Do they look like supportive people?
No, they do not.
Right. Like, you do know that I'm jealous of you for quite a few things, right?
Why?
I can tell you, I know, and I saw it. You have parents that absolutely loved you and didn't hide it. They expressed it pretty much all the time.
You're correct. I am extraordinarily fortunate in that way.
Yeah.
They are, at least I assume, proud of me, although I think they have no idea what I do. Which may be for the best.
Probably. I just can't believe that they're still this pissed and this.
They are angry. Most likely they are projecting onto you. They are angry at themselves. They feel that they have failed you as a daughter. And they have not given you good enough guidance.
I was trying to emotionally get them to remember who I was. I don't think it worked too well.
I felt that. I also think you should not do that again. I do not believe it would be satisfying to you to manipulate them into reconciliation.
Well, if I hadn't done it, they would have left here probably as soon as I entered.
Then you should have let them go.
I can't.
Why?
She makes sure that it's only the two of them. She moves a little closer. She whispers, I saw my mom. I saw myself as younger than I am now during the seeking. And James was there afterwards. With everything that's been going on, I can't shut people out like this. I
It is not.
need to know that I love them and that they love me. I need to know.
You are not shutting them out. Ultimately, they do not respect you as an adult. They
Right.
feel that you are a disobedient child. You need to prove them otherwise.
Thanks. Once again, thank you. I don't know
It is
what's
all
going
right.
on with this, but I'm gonna have to talk to Ed
Yes, you are.
Here's the problem. I love my brother, and he's very good at very many things, but I don't think. I think he's got a steeper learning curve than did, and I'm not. I don't want to see him hit every stumbling block I hit on that journey.
I believe that you can provide advice and guidance without becoming your mother.
Yeah. But it's just right. You're right. You're right.
And sometimes the painful truth is people learn lessons best when they experience failure.
Yeah, you taught me that as well.
Did
And
I?
you reminded me at least once. She kind of just grimaces at you. There's a bit of endearment in there, but it's a mixed signal. It's just
Next time they come, it will not likely be as an emotional exchange. They were shocked and angry at seeing you, but they will calm down. They will realize that you are not, they have been proven, rather, that you are not how you used to be.
still
However, I would not give in to their demands. Do not, they are not fair to hold their parentship to ransom over your brother.
part of me still wants to show them. I know it's totally stupid, childish, but part of me just want to make them proud still. It's so fucking stupid.
Why is that
Just,
stupid?
well, because part of me is considering showing them some of the stuff I can do now, which
That would be inadvisable.
I know. That's why I'm calling it stupid.
I think you have many things that would impress them without breaking the rule of shade.
Right.
And if you do not feel you do have anything that would impress them without breaking the rule of shade, maybe you should create something that you think will impress them. If you would like a seat as one of our trading partners,
Oh, no. No, thanks. Anything that would impress them is most of what I hate in this world. Well,
then I would advise not attempting to impress them because you will simply become something that you hate.
well, I hate it because they like it, but
Ah,
that's
well then
right way.
in some small way, they may be correct. If you are still experiencing a level of rebellion against them,
No, no, no. It's not like that. Not entirely. It's just there's not room for anything else. It's just always business, always moving forward, always this, and just like not even like a trip to the zoo or an art museum. It's always got to be shaped in talking with this person or good opportunity to learn this for this other deal or this other person I need to talk to and constantly keeping connections alive. I guess that's a life for the very rich, but I just I couldn't stand it when I was a kid. I couldn't stand it when I got older, and I can't stand it now. It's just such a waste. At least that's what I think. It's so rare that I saw them have any fun. Just like hey, Julie, Edward, let's go do something fun. Like, I don't remember them saying those words.
Nausicaa actually looks a little bit introspective as she's trying not to take what you're saying personally.
It's quite clear that Julie, if she had been in a normal or just somewhat calm state of mind, might have thought about that statement because, yeah,
No, for sure.
but she is just no way. Like those considerations, nope. She's just sitting there and she just, look, I need to get back, do some stuff, but I also need to speak to Lee soon. But
Yes. We also need to prepare for Iron Man.
I know. Look, it's. Thank you. Okay, I'll talk to my brother. But
If
I'm
you
not
would
gonna.
like gainful employment,
Well, he's got the education for it. Well, at least on a level that will be. But
it will give you an opportunity to be close to him. It's up to you, though. We have brokers here that work for themselves. Or rather, they use our funds and we take a percentage.
right.
Or I think Louise may be hiring.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not actually doing good, but I'll have a talk with him. I'll see you later. And Julie will just. She looks somewhat more collected now, and she gets up again, pats uh, Nausicaa on the shoulder, and just begins to head home.
Oscar will go back to work. And yeah, that's it.
And with that, the scene will come to a close. Thank you very much, players, for playing. SD for STing. Watchers for watching. Good night.